She stood right here in front of the Wyoming Capitol for nearly 60 years. But as part of the Capitol renovation project, the statue of the nation's first female Justice of the Peace, Esther Hobart Morris, has been moved here alongside Chief Washakie, a new post in a well-lit, expanded hallway between the Capitol and the Herschler Building. But a group that's growing larger wants Esther back out in front of the Capitol where they say she belongs. The driving force behind the group is longtime Cheyenne resident Mary Ostlund. She says Esther is too important for women's suffrage to be hidden and is not buying one of the arguments for moving Esther inside, that she blocks the view of the Capitol.
We get a very warm feeling about her, and we just need to have her out where she's more visible. And she doesn't block anything. She just is there and is a part of the whole situation. I don't know how people can think that she belongs inside. She's more viewable and accessible where she is, and she's been there for 60 years.
And one of Mary's biggest cheerleaders is Cheyenne attorney Mike Rosenthal.
Maybe Wyoming's greatest achievement in history was granting women the right to vote, and the first in the nation to do that. And to bury Esther Hobart Morris, who is the foremost symbol of that achievement that Wyoming voted on before it even became a state, to have her buried in the bowels of the Capitol is offensive.
Chairman of the Capitol Oversight Committee and former Senate President Tony Ross says the decision to move Esther and Chief Washakie inside was to make them part of an interpretive center. Ross says visitors were entered through the Herschler Building, go downstairs to the visitor center, the auditorium, and the learning center.
Actually, Esther and Chief Washakie are in a place of great importance, which will have full-time exhibits to learn about them. The whole plan includes not only static displays, but digital, similar to what you would see at the Gateway in Miami. So the decision was made in concert with the museum, who recommended, for purposes of preserving those statues, that they be moved indoors. There's still a lot of work to be done on them.
Ross also says there was public notice for all the meetings to discuss the design of the project. And he says there was public input, but never any pushback on the grand plan.
Every meeting that we've ever held has been published way in advance, along with an agenda and the topics for which would be discussed. And we even had opened up this last meeting to make sure that people had an opportunity for public comment, and there was none. So I think it's a good plan. It's not in any way to diminish the importance of Esther Hobart or Chief Washakie.
Both sides appear to have good intentions, whatever the final verdict on Esther's whereabouts.
People are there all the time taking pictures of her and the Golden Dome. That's what they remember about this complex, that the Golden Dome and Esther.
We in no way ever thought that moving her into the extension was some way diminishing her importance. In fact, we believe that it raised her prominence.
She serves as a living example and a reminder every day of what Wyoming can be. You know, be first in the nation on something. That was one of the most important things that Wyoming's ever done.
Esther Hobart Morris died in Cheyenne on April 2nd, 1902. As the New York Times wrote last year, she followed a trail to Wyoming. Then she blazed one. Robert Jiha, Cowboy State Daily.